Hello and welcome to what is kind of a follow-up video. If you haven't seen my video a couple of days ago, then please do take a look at that on my channel, where it was basically me going through the what is going to be in FIFA 14 Ultimate Team as announced, by EA, and that kind of leads us on to very nicely onto this. So it's kind of going into a little bit more detail regarding those things. So if you haven't already seen it, and I'm sure you'll all at least have heard about it then in your sub boxes from videos from other people, or maybe you have actually watched it yourself. First of all, I would say pause this video and go and take a look at that trailer if you have not seen it already, and then come back to this. So I'm going to kind of just run through the different things we can see from this trailer and what it actually shows us. So, of course, the first thing about this is the customization from the, basically it's like a consumable or an attribute card. So there are a number of people who were still, not quite sure how the whole like adding attribute or similar to attribute cards would work, such as putting a sniper attribute card on, or maybe a anchor sniper attribute card. I believe that is another name. Sniper is certainly one there, but basically it's just kind of that thing, or powerhouse, for example, just to give examples. So that is how we were explained how that would work. So basically you're able to adjust it to the way you want to play, so it gives it that that bit more tactical feel, if you like, because you're able to customize players the exact way you want to play. So that would be certainly interesting. You can get some more possession. So, for example, if you want one of your perhaps you want one of your right midfielders, perhaps to be more of an attacking player when he gets the opportunity, then what you can do is, your right back or your fullback, one of your fullbacks, for example, then what you do is get one of your wingers to perhaps have that anchor attribute, which will then pull them back when your defenders go forward. So it just gives you that more of a tactical approach to your game, and you'll have to hopefully actually have to kind of think about what you want to apply to different people and how you want to actually to play in your game. So that is the end of the kind of the first point. The second point then that we saw from this was the search by name feature. So that is a feature which will allow you to, instead of obviously just having to, for example, if you were searching for Schweinsteiger, which I believe he is doing in the is done in the trailer, then instead of having to go by Munich, Germany, make sure it's gold, get roughly in the right price range, you can just search his name. Or if you're searching Robben, for example, just search the name and it will then appear, and then you're able to use them. You'll be immediately into that. So you'll be much faster to find people in the transfer market, which is of course what it is now known as, instead of the auction house. So the next point then is that the player search don't give the full chemistry. So basically, by what I mean by that is, I took a look at the video, and you might be able to see he does use the feature where you're able to press on an open position. Perhaps you've got a space, as in the trailer, in your striking position, where you want to search players that you could get to fill that role. So that's what that happens in the trailer. They search for the role, and it appears with a couple of players. I believe there's Benzema in there. Hernandez, I believe, is in there, and a number of other strikers as well. But if you actually take a look at that then, which I guess you could say is a little bit of a disappointment, it doesn't actually appear with players that would allow you to get full chemistry. So if you take another look at that then, I believe in the midfield, I'm not actually quite sure who they've got in the trailer in the midfield, but whoever it is, it would then not lead to a full chemistry with other players, such as the Aguero, who's the other striker there. So if you take a look at that, then whoever appears in this player search, it doesn't automatically search it for you to appear with players who would definitely get that full chemistry for you. So that is a bit of a disappointment. It will just come up with strikers that could fill that role, as opposed to players that would be not only best suited there in terms of their ability, but also because of the chemistry they give your team. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But then the final point then is the pick your own tactics, the free kicks, and the squad numbers. So this is a nice little kind of personalization feel, I guess you could say, especially with the whole free kicks and the squad numbers. You can pick who actually plays there, as they say in the trailer, instead of just who is the best left-footed crosser, for example, to take the left-sided corners. You could actually pick who you wanted, and you can design your own tactics, for example, such as how you want people to run into the box, just for example, and then utilize them in Ultimate Team. So that's good. I mean, that's a nice little personalization feel. As I say, it'll give that little bit of cutting edge, I guess, to Ultimate Team. Give it that little bit more, give it another way of looking at it, another dynamic to it, as if you will. So anyway, that is the end of this video. I do hope you have kind of, can perhaps, if you hadn't seen the trailer and you weren't sure about, like the features, then you'll now know. But anyway, as I say, it's the end. Please do leave a like on this video and subscribe for future videos.